You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio, and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Friday, May 30th, 2025. Good evening. I'm Chris Palermo. Here is what's happening. A two-vehicle accident occurred today at around 2 p.m. involving a dog trailer, and News 25 has the details.
Jason Ernest of Mount West Lawyers. Don't be bullied by insurance companies. Call me, 775-727-9500.
Today, around 2 p.m., a two-vehicle accident occurred at the intersection of Gamebird Road and Pahrump Valley Boulevard. According to the initial report, a GMC had struck the front right side of the dog grooming trailer that was being pulled by a white pickup truck. The impact caused the trailer to flip onto its side. One person has been transported to Desert View Hospital with unknown injuries. The cause of the accident is currently under investigation at this time, and News 25 will have more on the story as it develops.
More news now. A shoplifting call at the Pahrump Walmart results in two women behind bars, and not just for theft, but for drugs. And News 25 has details on what deputies found when they arrived at the scene.
Two women were arrested at Walmart here in Pahrump following an attempted shoplifting incident that escalated into a drug-related arrest. On May 28th at approximately 5 p.m., authorities responded to reports of two female adults concealing unpaid merchandise in their purses while shopping inside of the store on South Highway 160. When store security attempted to stop them, one suspect complied and was detained, while the other fled the scene and was later found inside of a tan Ford pickup truck in the parking lot. The woman inside of the truck was identified as Kathy Kiko, who was also found to be on active probation and parole for a felony controlled substance possession charge. Kiko initially gave a false statement of the situation, but later admitted to being at the store with her sister, Kimberly Cox. After being taken into custody, Kiko admitted to moving in with her sister despite probation terms prohibiting contact with individuals involved in criminal activity. Kimberly Cox, who was already detained in the store's loss prevention office, reportedly confessed to stealing the items. Both Kiko and Cox allegedly worked together to shoplift merchandise totaling at $63.28. Surveillance footage shows them walking through the store, hiding items in their purses, and exiting without paying. Further searches during the arrest uncovered additional bags of a white crystallized substance on Cox, including one found in her purse and the other concealed in her bra during booking. A field test confirmed that these substances tested positive for methamphetamine, a total weight of approximately 8.99 grams. Both women were arrested on charges including petty larceny, conspiracy to commit larceny, and possession of a controlled substance. Authorities stated this incident appears to be premeditated, noting that the women allegedly emptied their purses beforehand to create space for the concealed merchandise.
A Las Vegas man has been arrested after killing his landlord over an eviction. News 25 has the details.
On May 29th at around 4:46 p.m., LVMPD dispatch received a report of a male that was shot inside of a residence in the 3600 block of North Campbell Road. According to the report, the landlord got into an argument over the eviction of a tenant. That's when 36-year-old Christopher Rainey allegedly pulled out a gun and shot the landlord multiple times. Lieutenant Jason Johansson held a press briefing on the incident.
45 in the afternoon, LVMPD dispatch received a 911 call from a caller stating that his roommates were in an argument and somebody had been shot. Officers from Northwest Area Command immediately responded, and upon their arrival, they challenged the residents, and the suspect came out where he was taken into custody without incident. Those officers went inside to clear the residence, where they located the victim, who was lying on the kitchen floor suffering from several gunshot wounds. Those officers immediately began rendering aid until medical arrived, and upon medical arrival, unfortunately, that individual was pronounced deceased. Homicide detectives have been notified, and we are currently on scene investigating the crime. The preliminary details, as we know them so far, are the two roommates were in an argument. One of the roommates was technically the landlord, and he was trying to evict the other roommates. The evicted roommate became angry, pulled out a firearm, and began firing, shooting the landlord.
Christopher Rainey has been booked into the Clark County Detention Center with 1 count of open murder with a deadly weapon.
Checking some other news now, the final report has been released regarding the fatal wrong-way crash that killed Las Vegas Metro officer Colton Pulsifer. News 25 has the details.
The driver responsible for a deadly wrong-way crash that killed an off-duty Las Vegas police officer in December was heavily intoxicated, unlicensed, and had previously been ordered to be removed from the United States, according to a newly released report by NHP. Fernando Jimenez was driving a Ford F-150 north in the southbound lanes of Interstate 15 near Moapa at nearly 100 miles per hour during the early morning hours on December 12, 2024, when he collided head-on with a Toyota Corolla driven by Officer Colton Pulsifer. Pulsifer, a 4-year veteran of Las Vegas Metro, died at the scene. Jimenez was also pronounced dead at the scene. A toxicology report showed that his blood alcohol concentration was 0.205, nearly 3 times the legal limit, and he tested positive for THC, an active compound used in marijuana. Investigators found a broken bottle of Bacardi rum, a beer can, and marijuana dispensary receipts and packaging inside and near the wrecked pickup truck. According to the state police report, Jimenez did not have a valid driver's license, and the Ford F-150 was uninsured. Immigration records confirm that he was a Mexican national who had been ordered to be deported by an immigration judge in 2021. Jimenez front seat passenger Miguel Jimenez Cruz survived the crash but fled into the desert after either being ejected from the vehicle or climbing out on his own. He was found nearly 10 hours after the crash by police. Through an interpreter, Jimenez Cruz told investigators that he and Jimenez worked in landscaping and had been drinking before the crash. He said they planned to continue drinking in the desert after Jimenez picked him up that night. The final investigative report was released this month by Nevada Highway Patrol, and News 25 continues to extend our deepest condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones of Officer Colton Pulsifer.
Coming up, Mikey has sports and your weekend weather forecast. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. It's that time of the broadcast where our News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers joins us this Friday night. We take a special look at one Marine's sober success story.
In an honest account to the U.S. Department of Defense, U.S. Marine Corps Corporal Gavin Martinez, barracks manager with Bravo Company Headquarters and Support Battalion, Marine Corps Installation Pacific, came clean about his own struggles with alcohol abuse. The Marine shared his sobriety story in hopes that his fellow servicemen and women could learn firsthand from his consequences and how he handled his battle with the bottle. Now let's hear from Marine Martinez during his From Alcohol to Accountability piece recently released by the DoD.
For the Marine Corps, I never really drank alcohol at all. I got to the schoolhouse, and that's when I started introducing myself with alcohol. Continued on to the fleet. I tried to, hide it, get away from it, and then just found myself drinking again every weekend. It just kind of helped me deal with being away from home for the first time.
While stationed in Japan, the New Jersey native shared his story as a learning experience for other Marines struggling with severe alcohol abuse and the potential consequences that lie ahead.
We were drinking on like a Friday. We had a Saturday shift coming up. I didn't stop drinking until like 4 or 5 in the morning. It turned out to be like 7 a.m. I had to go trip out a government vehicle. I blew hot on a breathalyzer and they were like, you can't trip out this vehicle. Kind of felt trash. I was referred to SACO for the second time after that incident. Sat down, talked with some counselors, talked to my family, and I was like, maybe I do got a problem. Maybe I should stop and get away from alcohol.
Each branch of the U.S. Armed Forces contains tailored substance abuse programs, offering prevention, education, counseling, and treatment, while also supporting those seeking civilian-led rehabilitation programs if applicable.
Shortly after, I received my 6105 during corporal's course, actually. It was like my first week in it. I received it, I went out to the company, signed it, and I was like, well, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna bounce back. And the moment class first sergeant opened up, or being the class leader, I was like, well, let's show them that I can still lead. So I got the class first sergeant award. Shortly after that, an MAI course came. I put a package in, became a martial arts instructor, and then I've been dedicating most of my off time and other things I do to just mitigate the option of going outside and drinking.
Not mean you have to end up though. You can change and be the change.
The Department of Defense provides treatment and intervention services to support recovery and reintegration, while sobriety efforts are also designed to address underlying factors such as stress or unhealthy coping mechanisms.
I think I've led, guided, and mentored a lot of Marines in a lot of positive ways, and whether that be through McMap, whether that be through coaching, and I think I'm leaving a better impact on a lot of people than I was when I was little Lance Corporal Martinez, because you know, everybody was like, stay away from him, he's bad news, he does this. But now a lot of people, like, if you want some good advice, you want to learn from somebody, you want to do this, go to this person. And when you're that guy that count on, it feels a lot better. So I'd say I'm genuinely happy with myself.
Commanding officers and medical professionals are required to refer service members for an assessment if they suspect substance misuse. Additionally, service members can self-refer to Access Treatment Service, though disciplinary action may still apply depending on the situation. On behalf of everyone here at KPVM Television, as always, thank you so much for your selfless service. Reporting from Las Vegas, I'm Maria Centers for News 25.
Thank you, Maria. Have a great weekend. And the 2025 Stanley Cup playoff final match has been set. Here's Mikey with the details.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Las Vegas Aviators in action on Thursday. UNLV coach Josh Pastner tosses a basketball for the first pitch. I like your style. Aviators taking on the OKC Comets. A bunch of home runs later. OKC wins 9-3 rematch this evening at 7:05. The Stanley Cup stage is set. Rematch from last year, Florida Panthers versus the Edmonton Oilers. Game 1 of the 2025 Stanley Cup Final is scheduled for Wednesday, June 4th. The Las Vegas Aces welcome Kelsey Plum and the Los Angeles Spark this evening. And tickets for the 2025 Hall of Fame Series Las Vegas will be available for purchase starting today. The event, scheduled for Monday, November 3rd at T-Mobile Arena, marks the third consecutive year of elite college basketball in Las Vegas on the season's opening night. This year's doubleheader features a marquee lineup with defending men's national champion Florida facing Arizona. The second game will see BYU take on Villanova. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thank you, Mikey. And Thomas from Westgate RV Park is here to let you know that he is selling propane for an insanely low price.
Hello, Pahrump RVers. Thomas here with Westgate RV Park. For the month of June, we are having a special on propane, $2.99 a gallon. We are changing our distributors to Suburban, and they have given us a special price for the month of June. While you're there, driving through, getting your tank filled up, take a look around. Westgate is normally 98 to 100% full, but right now we do have some vacancies. Our monthly rate is $3.99 a month plus electricity. Also, we have swimming pool, clubhouse, laundromat, his and her bathrooms with showers. Stop by, talk with us, see if this might be someplace you'd like to live. We are a gated community, so stop on by for the month of June to get that no tariff propane price. $2.99 a gallon for the month of June.
All right, seems like a good deal. Coming up, Mikey's going to tell us what's cooking this Sunday morning on Classic Country Breakfast over on the radio side. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Here's Mikey now to tell us what's cooking this Sunday morning on Classic Country Breakfast on Ace Country Radio and streaming on Channel 25.8 and now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
Howdy. When I'm out making an egg salad sandwich, I like to take the Ace Country Radio app with me. You can too. Download it today. It's free. On the menu this week on Classic Country Breakfast. Born on May 26th, Jimmy Rogers will pay tribute to him. Also born on May 6th, Hank Williams Jr. will celebrate him. Born on May 27th, Don Williams will pay tribute to him. Born on May 28th, Gary Stewart will pay tribute to him. Born on May 30th, Winona Judd will celebrate her. And born on May 31st, Johnny Paycheck will pay tribute to him. Also, Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter John Barry calls the show to talk about his 30-year anniversaries and the time George Jones told him good job while he was rehearsing in a bathroom.
I went to go rehearse backstage. I got a little bit nervous and went to go backstage to rehearse and went to the assigned dressing room and there's just tons of people hanging out, you know, doing the big old backstage at the Opry House hang and so I searched around and found that there's nobody in the men's room. So I'm in there singing, got my guitar on, I'm singing my heart out, and in comes George Jones. And George takes care of what he's got to do. He's heading out the door. He says, "Sounding good, son." And, you know, I figured right then and there, if I never win anything, it's okay because I got the Sounding Good Son award from George Jones at the men's room at the Grand Ole Opry House, you know, during the CMAs. And I don't think Vince Gill ever got that. So I go back and sit with my wife, and about hours pass. I'm singing near the end of the show. And I go back to rehearse one more time. I'm so nervous, you know. I go back to my almost private rehearsal facility, and I'm in there singing my heart out, and in walks George Jones. He looks at me and looks at his watch. He says, "How long you planning on warming up, son?" And he thought I'd been in there all night.
Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning at 8 on Ace Country Radio, streaming at Channel 25.8, and now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
And a beautiful view from Mount Arden in Henderson, courtesy of KPVM TV. That's the Lerner and Rowe Weather Cam on a Friday, and you could fry an egg on the sidewalk. Well, good luck in trying to find a sidewalk here in Pahrump. Complete forecast up in a bit.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Well, good evening, Nevada. My name is Rory Rosso, coming to you from the Channel 25 Weather Studios. And as you can see, I am in different attire. That is because I am graduating tonight. But right now, let's look at what Nevada looks like. In northern Nevada, Fernley is seeing 97 degrees. Fallon is seeing 98. Carson City is at 92. Tonopah is at 91 degrees. Goldfield is also at 92. Beatty is at 102 degrees. Amargosa is at 107. Las Vegas is sitting at 103. And Death Valley is at 116 degrees. But here in the beautiful Paradise Pahrump, it's currently 92 degrees. The high today was 103. The wind was blowing south at 9 miles per hour, humidity 8%. And the sun rose this morning at 5:28 and is setting tonight. At 7:54 p.m., the humidity rises up to 14%, and the wind continues to blow tonight east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. The low tonight is going to be 75 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Tomorrow on Saturday, we are seeing 102 degrees, 92 on Sunday with only clouds in the sky, no sun. On Monday, it'll be 89, 88 on Tuesday, back up into the 90s on Wednesday at 92, 94 on Thursday, and 98 on Friday. But that's going to be it because I got to go graduate, and I will see you guys next week. Back to the desk, here's Chris.
All right, well, that's looking good, Miss Roselle, and good luck to you and all your fellow future graduates just moments away coming up tonight here in Pahrump. That'll just about do it for all of us here tonight. News 25, I'm Chris Palermo. Make it a great weekend.